Welcome to the Inner World Podcast. I'm Liam Johnson, and this is where you explore inner awakening, cultivate profound wisdom, and build a life of authentic awareness, a peaceful life. We are not here merely to understand something more, but to return to ourselves, day by day, moment by moment. In the 21 succession journey of expanding inner awareness, you and I have already traveled through the first stops, where you learn to touch emptiness, recognize truth, and live in joy. But today marks a different turning point. We will delve into instructed wisdom, intelligence formed from experience, hearing, seeing, studying, and knowing. Uninstructed wisdom, a sudden clarity that arises without learning, as if you already knew. And an essential concept for realizing your dreams, intention setting. It's merely an idea, but it could unlock the door to true enlightenment within you. You may be surprised, many people live their whole lives with only instructed wisdom, never touching the ability to access uninstructed wisdom, where intelligence doesn't come from logic, but from an inner resonance with the frequency of truth. We busy ourselves learning to become smarter, yet few learn how to release at the right moment, to allow true wisdom to grow from within. In today's video, I will guide you through a journey from recognizing third-level wisdom to fourth-level consciousness, through instructed wisdom, then uninstructed wisdom, and finally to intention setting. This is a logical continuation of the other sessions in the 21-day journey of expanding inner awareness. If you're new here, you can revisit previous episodes in the playlist section. Thank you for being present. And one small note, the end of this video contains an incredibly important inner key, helping you stop seeking and instead allowing wisdom to find you. So, don't look away. Let each word, each concept, become a part of your life. Welcome back to the journey with yourself. Let us begin. Dear friends, there is something very important I want you to remember right now. Living in the present is not something far-fetched. It is a skill, a capacity, and more than that, it is a form of wisdom. The person who possesses this type of wisdom is not necessarily someone who knows a lot or studies a lot, but someone who can be aware that they are aware, right in the most ordinary moments of life. Third-level wisdom, as I mentioned earlier, is the ability to live mindfully, to be clearly aware of one's behaviors, emotions, and thought patterns. A person with this wisdom is not swept away by the stream of thought. They do not let the mind drift into the past or rush toward the future. They remain anchored in the present, and that creates profound value in every moment they live. Have you ever been with someone, yet your mind wandered to something else? Have you ever sat down for a family meal, but your heart was worried about work? Or been at work, but longed for a break? We live many days like that, and we think it's normal. But that very normality steals the meaning and value from each moment. Someone with third-level wisdom is different. They do not let their mind fragment. They do not live in the gap between two thoughts. They are fully present, and because of that, they have no regrets. The secret does not lie in what you know, but in how you know. When you know you are listening, you truly listen. When you know you are speaking, you speak from the heart. When you know you are seeing, you view life with clear eyes. And when you know you are knowing, you activate the most unique layer of your inner wisdom. Third-level wisdom is a state where your awareness allows you to perceive without analyzing, to be present without attachment. A person who attains this state has a deeply grounded inner world, because they do not react, they respond sincerely. In the journey to cultivate third-level wisdom, there are 3 questions you can apply every day. These are not just tools, they are keys that open the door to mindful awareness. Question 1. Who is the most important person in this moment? The answer is not the one you love most, not a family member, not an idol. It is the person in front of you right now, because only the present truly exists. Question 2. What is the most important moment? Not some time in the future, not a milestone from the past. It is the present moment. Question 3. What is the most important action? It is the action you are doing right now, no more, no less, not vague, not postponed. Because what you are doing now is the opportunity to live authentically. Remember, when you apply these 3 questions to your daily life, you are not just training your wisdom, you are truly living a life with depth. When someone reaches the state of third-level wisdom, their inner world becomes serene, sunward, and full of positive energy. Energy researchers have shown that a person with a joyful inner state and a vibrational frequency of 700 to 1000 can electromagnetically balance tens of millions of others. And do you know what that means? It means just one truly mindful person can be a beacon of light for an entire community. Language is merely a tool. Energy is the real message. You don't need to learn how to speak eloquently. You just need to maintain a balanced, sunward inner state, and your words will naturally carry depth. That is what someone with third-level wisdom achieves, saying little but reaching deep, not needing to teach, yet their words still guide. There are times when simply being fully present as someone speaks, they already feel heard. Just by looking at them with the awareness that you are seeing, they already begin to heal. And finally, it is just an intention, nothing more. If you have a desire, let it arise, then let it go. Don't force yourself to achieve it. Wisdom does not come from force. It comes from a release filled with mindfulness. Each day lived in awareness is one step closer to a complete life. Dear friends, third-level wisdom is not a destination you go to. It is a state you return to. Return to yourself. Return to every ordinary moment. Return to the truth within. And if you walk with me on this journey, I believe you will feel what I am saying, not with your logic, but with the very state of your inner being. If level 3 is where you actively remain present, then level 4 is where you let go and still remain mindful, doing nothing, yet doing exactly what is needed. This is the state we often call naturally knowing. You do not need to think, yet you know exactly what to say, what to do, what to stop. It does not come from books. It does not come from learned knowledge. It comes from a deeper, pure source, beyond the limits of experience. And people call it natural wisdom. Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation and suddenly knew exactly what to say? Or stood before a difficult decision, not calculating anything, yet inside you echoed a calm certainty that said, "Choose this way." That is fourth-level wisdom arising. There are 2 concepts we need to know, which are instructed wisdom and uninstructed wisdom. Instructed wisdom is knowledge with a teacher. That is, you listen, see, study, experience, and accumulate. Uninstructed wisdom is knowledge without a teacher. It arises from within you like a flash of light in the dark, and you can only reach it when your inner world has become empty, mindful, and truly let go. There have been inventors in the world who, in just a moment, without seeking, without expecting, suddenly everything appeared. Great creations in history sometimes came not from effort, but from alignment with the frequency of universal wisdom. To attain fourth-level wisdom, first become the one who does not seek. You cannot want to have the fourth-level state, because the very desire prevents it from arriving. This state only arises when you completely release all expectations and return to a state of resting within yourself. That is why, in my courses, I always emphasize one thing: it is just an intention. You may set an intention, then immediately let go. No striving to achieve, no chasing. That is called intention setting, and it is a way to invite uninstructed wisdom to arise without distorting the inner energy flow. Do you want to understand the human structure? Set the intention, then release. No need for reasoning to interfere. When your electromagnetic field aligns with the wave of that knowledge, it will naturally come. That is how fourth-level wisdom operates. I want to tell you a story. There is a legend that says 3 gods wove the future of humankind on a magical loom. But one of them, the one who loved freedom, shattered that loom into 7 parts, scattering them across the universe. The final piece was hidden in a ring, but that ring only appears when no one is searching for it. The more you seek, the further it moves away. The tighter you hold, the more you lose. Only when humans release the desire to find the ring, or rather, fourth-level wisdom, reveals itself. So who is the person with fourth-level wisdom? The one who naturally knows what to say, without preparing in advance. The one who naturally knows what to do, even if never trained. The one who can access knowledge beyond experience, sometimes from accumulated karma, sometimes from spatial intelligence. They are not teachers in the traditional sense, but every word they speak carries transformational energy. They do not preach, but their presence is a living lesson. Why? Because they do not speak from what they know, but from a mindful inner state. The special thing about this state is that you cannot name it, but you can feel it through presence. Many have asked me, how do I know when I'm in level 4? But the truth is, if you need to ask, perhaps you are not there yet. And when you are truly there, you no longer need to ask. Because this state no longer operates through reasoning. It is a state of knowing without thinking, doing without planning. And when you leave that state, you cannot explain it in words, because words are limited, but fourth-level wisdom is a boundless flow. And do you know something? When you are in this state, every look from your eyes is already healing. Every word you speak is already wisdom. That is why I always tell you, you do not need to learn how to speak beautifully. You just need to maintain a balanced, sunward inner state. And from there, you become a natural light. You do not try to inspire, but you are the inspiration. So fourth 11 inner awareness state is not something to achieve, it is something to return to. Set the intention, then release. Keep your inner world empty, mindful. Dwell fully in the present moment. And at some point, you will naturally know what to do. If fourth-level wisdom is the connection to what lies beyond experience, then second and third-level wisdom, where instructed wisdom resides, is where all our awareness begins. What is instructed wisdom? It is everything you have heard, seen, said, gone, from the moment you were born until now. It is the result of learning, receiving, remembering, reflecting. It is the lessons you are taught, the things you have witnessed, the experiences you have gone through. And you know what? Without instructed wisdom, each person is a storage of the past. Imagine you are a jar, and every day you live, every interaction, every lesson, every time you hear, every time you see, is a drop of water into that jar. Some people collect only pure drops, accurate knowledge, profound teachings, keen observations. Others let their jar fill with garbage, judgments, biases, limiting beliefs, distorted information. But whether it is clean or murky water, it is still instructed wisdom. This is your personal intellectual heritage, and you can assess that heritage by observing your reactions to life. A person with accurate instructor wisdom radiates light through their words. A person who has accumulated distorted instructor wisdom causes confusion through their behavior. So why is instructed wisdom important in the inner journey? Because it is the foundation. You cannot know you are speaking unless you have once learned to observe speech. You cannot naturally know what to do unless you have practiced through hundreds of mistakes. Third-level wisdom is not a rejection of level 2, it is a refinement of it. And fourth-level wisdom does not fall from the sky, it is the ripening result of instructed wisdom that has been purified and released at the right moment. If instructed wisdom had an image, it would be like a plow breaking the ground for the seeds of your uninstructed wisdom. Have you ever tilled a plot of land? If you plant a seed without tilling the soil, it will not sprout. Instructed wisdom is that tilling process. It helps you absorb, understand, doubt, examine, and then slowly release the hardened layers of logic to make space for natural knowing to emerge. Someone asked me, can I attain uninstructed wisdom if I never study anything at all? The answer is no. You must study, listen, see, practice, but then at some point you stop, you release, and allow a different stream of knowledge to rise from within. And that only happens when your foundation of instructed wisdom is strong enough, clean enough, and ripe enough. A person who does not accumulate instructive wisdom properly will be controlled by it. The danger is not that you know nothing. It is that you think you know rightly. But that knowing is programmed by limiting beliefs. That is why you cannot change your life unless you change what you believe to be true. When you begin to awaken, you no longer learn just to know. You learn to observe what is being learned, to reflect back on yourself, and instructed wisdom then becomes your companion. This helps you rebuild your foundation, because only when you clearly understand the mechanism of instructed wisdom can you go further, rise higher, and even surpass it to reach uninstructed wisdom. Each of us has instructed wisdom. The question is, are you using it the right way or the wrong way? And finally, begin like this. Reassure me the things you once believed to be true. Review what you have learned. Does it still serve you today? Clear out outdated knowledge so new space can emerge. Are you ready for the next part? We will together step into a concept both mysterious and essential. Instructed wisdom, where natural knowing needs no data from the past. We have just explored instructed wisdom, the first gateway that leads you to the world of deep awareness. But as I shared in the last episode on Inner World Podcast, no matter how important instructed wisdom is, It is still just a stepping stone, and if you keep standing there, you will miss an entirely different sky, the sky of awakening, where natural knowing requires no teacher, no books, no reliance on past experience. Yes, I am talking about UNINSTRUCTED wisdom. UNINSTRUCTED wisdom is when insight rises from silence. Have you ever felt you did not learn something, yet you simply knew? You had never seen it, never heard it, never analyzed it, yet you knew what to do. You knew the answer. You knew what to say. And even more, it felt familiar, as if you had lived through it before. That is the first sign of UNINSTRUCTED wisdom, a type of wisdom that does not come from study or accumulation, but arises from a deeper layer within you, the pure knowing essence. So where does UNINSTRUCTED wisdom come from? There are two paths. One is from the accumulated consciousness of past lives. There are people who have never learned to play an instrument, yet in a moment they play like an artist. Scientists, poets, and creators sometimes tap into a layer of understanding that seems gifted. Two is from space civilizations. It may sound strange, but many of humanity's great inventions were described by inventors themselves as information that naturally appeared. They did not force it. They simply stopped thinking and heard an inner voice. So, how does UNINSTRUCTED wisdom arise? You cannot crave to attain uninstructed wisdom. The moment you want to have it, strive to reach it. You have already closed the door. Why? Because wanting is a symptom of mental projection, and projection never shows you the truth. That is why I tell you. It is just an intention. Set an intention, then let go. Place a desire, then quietly observe. And then, in an unexpected moment, wisdom will arise. From where? No one knows. It simply comes. UNINSTRUCTED wisdom cannot be taught, but it can be invited. You can create conditions for uninstructed wisdom to emerge. First, maintain a balanced and sunward inner state. Then, clear projections, release attachments. And most importantly, know that you are knowing. When you are speaking, know you are speaking. When you are listening, know you are listening. When you are seeing, know you are seeing. In that very moment, you are in third-level wisdom. And only from this level can UNINSTRUCTED wisdom arise. It does not arise when you are scattered. It does not arise when you are trying hard. Someone asked me, is UNINSTRUCTED wisdom dangerous? Yes, if you identify with it. UNINSTRUCTED wisdom is a gift, but if you are proud to possess it, you have just lost it. If you use it to inflate the ego, you have just pushed yourself out of the state needed to keep it. So, when it comes, welcome it. When it leaves, say goodbye. Like a cherished guest, the more you respect without attachment, the longer it stays. This is the wonder of the state of wanting nothing. Why is this topic so important? Because you are living in a world flooded with data, but starved of wisdom. People know too much, but do not know what is true. People hear too much, but forget how to listen to themselves. An instructed wisdom is the ability to hear the original voice within, a voice not conditioned, not programmed. And if you can touch that level, you will not just change how you think, you will change your life. So let me remind you of the key points we just went through. UNINSTRUCTED wisdom does not come from learning, but from letting go. It arises when you no longer want to know something, but simply return to the state of knowing. It is not for the ambitious, but a reward for those who surrender. And if you are on the journey of inner awakening, remember, instructed wisdom is the beginning, but uninstructed wisdom is the turning point. It is where you not only know what is right, but know what is right in the present moment. Are you ready to step into the final part of this journey? Intention setting. It is just an intention. Let us enter that subtle realm together in the next episode. We have just stepped through the wondrous gateway of uninstructed wisdom, where wisdom arises without study, where knowing comes not from experience, but from a deep state within you. And now I want to lead you into another dimension, a concept that can transform your entire life. Intention setting, just an idea. Just an idea, but an idea that creates your entire reality. Do you remember? You cannot activate uninstructed wisdom. You can only set an intention, then release it, and let the rest happen on its own. This is the truth. The truth is always simple. Only our minds make things complicated. Intention setting is not craving. It is not commanding the universe. It is simply sending a message into the void. Like releasing a leaf into a stream, you cannot control where it will go, but you know it will reach where it needs to be. That is intention setting. Now let us explore how intention setting works. Why is it that some people only need to think of something and coincidences start to happen? Why does letting go of desire often bring results more easily than clinging tightly? Because every idea carries energy, and when you set an idea from a balanced, sunward inner state, that idea does not remain in your mind alone, but activates your entire electromagnetic vibration system. That is when consistent karma and resultant karma begin to operate. You do not need to control it. Just trust and let go. And most importantly, do not pair it with the ambition to possess. What we need to understand is how to set intentions properly. It lies in this: you initiate the idea, but do not cling to the outcome. You have a desire, but remain unattached. And because of that, your mind stays calm. Your inner state remains balanced. Your vibrational frequency does not drop. And natural wisdom, from the UNINSTRUCTED wisdom level, now has the chance to arise. That phrase, once fully understood, will help you avoid countless inner disturbances. You will no longer torment yourself. Why hasn't it happened? Why don't I see the result? Because you understand that once the intention is set, you need do nothing more than prepare your inner world to receive. You will no longer be caught in the worry, what actions must I take to achieve what I want? Because you know, when your mind is still enough, action will arise from clarity, not from panic. Intention setting is not to possess something, it is to become someone suitable. Why is this content so vital in the journey of transformation? Because if you do not understand intention setting, you will forever live in the loop of pressure. You will think you must control everything, must achieve everything through force. But in doing so, you cannot maintain a balanced inner state, which is the prerequisite for awakening wisdom. Let me summarize the key points we have just explored. Intention setting is initiating an idea and immediately releasing it. An idea born from a balanced inner state is a form of vibration that will call forth the right karmic connections. A person who understands intention setting does not live in expectation, but in readiness. And the person who lives in readiness always arrives at the right time, in the right place, with the right people. We have just walked through the concept of intention setting, just an idea, where you learned how to initiate a desire and then gently release it, allowing your inner state to lead instead of letting your mind control. And now we come to a pivotal point. How can you live with third-level wisdom every day? Not in theory, not just in meditation, but in every action, every relationship, every ordinary moment. Knowing you are alive. A simple practice, but not an easy one. Knowing you are listening, knowing you are seeing, knowing you are speaking, and knowing that you know. That is the core of third-level wisdom, a form of active awareness where you are fully present with whatever is happening. And you will be surprised. You do not need advanced knowledge, no special tools at all. You just need to return to yourself. When you speak, do not speak just to speak. Know you are speaking. When you listen to someone, do not let your mind wander. Know you are listening. When you look, do not just look with your eyes, see with present awareness. Every time you know you are living, you are training your wisdom. And each time you are pulled by anxiety, haste, expectations, you momentarily leave that wisdom level. But do not worry. Realizing it is returning. Let us recall the 3 questions that shift your entire awareness to support the practice of third-level wisdom in daily life. They are: who is the most important person right now? What is the most important thing right now? What is the most important moment? Answer these 3 questions not with words, but with full presence. When facing someone, see them as the most important person. When doing something, see it as the most worthwhile task. And right now, this very moment, is all you truly have. Live it. Next, practice in relationships with genuine care and heartfelt presence. You know, most relationship breakdowns do not come from lack of love, but from lack of presence. A hollow gaze, a thoughtless reply, a rushed nod, all tell that we are not really here. But when you live with third-level wisdom, you give something priceless, your full presence. Nothing can replace that. The other person will feel it, not through words, but through the energy you emit. In that moment, you are not just talking, you are creating healing. In work, anything becomes meaningful when you are fully present. Whether your work is simple or complex, the truth remains. When you are fully present, you work with a different energy. Not just to get it done, but to better understand yourself, to connect more deeply, to train your inner being. A builder, placing each brick with mindfulness. Every brick carries a soul. A teacher, knowing they are speaking, every word shines with light. It is not the work that creates the value, but the inner state you bring to the work. Remember, a balanced inner state is the gateway to a life without regret. When you practice third-level wisdom long enough, you will discover something. You no longer regret the past, because you have lived each moment fully. You faced the people you needed to meet, you said what needed to be said, you chose to live in the present, not chasing the future or chewing on the past. And that very inner state, peaceful and balanced, will generate a positive energy field for those around you. One person with a luminous inner state can light up an entire community. Dear friend, practicing third-level wisdom is not to become someone new. It is to return to yourself. Not adding on, not trying, not proving, but removing the inner noise so the light of awareness can naturally shine through. I invite you, starting today, to begin a simple practice. Wherever you are, know you are there. Whatever you are doing, know you are doing that. Whoever you are engaging with, see them as the most important person. You do not need much. Just one such moment a day is enough for you to return to the wisdom within. And then, bit by bit, you will see, life does not need to change. You only need to be present, and that alone transforms everything. And remember, it is just an idea, but if you set it right, then release, the whole universe will cooperate for you to live rightly and see how beautiful life is in its truth. Dear friend, if you have followed along this far, I believe that something within you is gently stirring. A seed of awareness, a small stream of light has just been touched. It may not be loud or clear, but it is enough to make you pause and truly look within. We have just traveled through a profound journey from third-level wisdom to fourth-level inner awareness, through instructed wisdom, uninstructed wisdom, and ending with just an idea. All of these are not meant just to be known, but to be embodied, to live with, and to share. But you know something? Sometimes a single share to the right person is enough to change an entire inner life. A timely word can become the spark that lights the way for someone walking through darkness. So, if you have found something valuable today, consider carefully before you click like, subscribe, or share this video. Not out of habit, but out of mindfulness, because you choose to do it with awareness that this might truly make a difference for someone out there. The journey inward is not for the majority, but those who are meant to stay will understand. Awakening does not come from adding more, but from letting go. Depth does not lie in the words, but in the state from which you read them. Thank you for walking alongside me. See you in the upcoming session. I am Liam Johnson from Inner World Podcast. We are walking together toward the light within.